What's good, y'all? It's your boy D-Can, man. And for those that are new to the channel, it's D-Can because he can, man. All glory to the Most High. Today, we're going to give y'all a little tutorial video, alright, on how to beat Erlang on Great Sage difficulty. I guess really any difficulty. Just some tips and tricks on some things that I did for my build. Obviously, you might have other opinions, but this is just some things that I noticed through my 83 attempts at fighting him. So I feel like I have some knowledge on what to expect and how to go about things. So hopefully this will be a good some good help to y'all. And yeah, I'm gonna do it a bit different. I probably won't use my camera because that way y'all can see everything. But I'll be talking through on everything I did. So I hope y'all enjoy the video, and I hope this helps y'all to get over this hump, because boy, I'm so happy to be done with this, man. But without further ado, let's get into the video. Wait. I forgot, bro. Y'all was going crazy. I was at 180 subscribers. Like, what's it? Today is Thursday, April 17th. I was at 180 like Wednesday morning, and I got like 9 subscribers yesterday. Bro, y'all are truly a blessing, man. I love y'all, man. Please hit that subscribe button down below if you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe. And now, without further ado, let's jump into the video. Alright, y'all. So, first things first. Where do I start? This is the build that I use. And again, obviously some things could change based on how you want to how you fight. The first thing that you are absolutely guaranteed 100,000% gonna need is the fan. Okay? Now, this fan, as y'all know, when fighting Erlang has shield that you have to get off of him, to do a whole lot more damage. And getting this shield off as quick as possible is what the fan is used for. So it's important to have this on and make sure that you're utilizing it and can get it back multiple times throughout the fight. Erlang is going to have 3 phases to fight him, but he can get his shield back more than 3 times. So you're going to need to make sure that you focus on when to use this fan and getting it back as quick as possible. So when getting this fan back, the best solution I found, now they do have this armor set here, the Golden Mask of Fury. So as you see there, if you equip all 4 of those armor pieces, you get what's called the skill that upon critical hits and defeats grants a small amount of ki. Now, I tried to use that, but obviously you have to get critical hits and defeats for that. But I feel like if you want to use that, you would have to throw on probably this staff here that boosts your critical hit chance by a whole lot. Or its counterpart, which is the where's it at? This leeching centipede staff. Those 2 probably boost the most, but for this I would not use that, because with the golden fangtail crown, the Wukong armor, obviously on that 3 equipped, you get mildly increases critical hit chance when you use a spell. So I think that is the most beneficial thing to keep on, as well as because of the Wukong staff unique effect, you have the fourth gauge focus point no longer depletes over time. Now, holding on to that fourth focus point hit heavy attack is crucial. I will tell you that. Because once you get rid of his armor with the fan, you are able to use immobilize to immobilize Erlang and use get that heavy attack off to deal that huge chunk of damage. Um, so I paired that with the Wandering White, who also will give you a huge chunk of damage. But you need to make sure that you're close enough to Erlang, obviously, to get that hit off, or use it while Erlang is immobilized. Um, yeah, just to make sure you get that hit off. But I would, if you immobilize Erlang, I would first use the heavy attack, and then use Wandering White, because it's better to guarantee the heavy attack um, over Wandering White. Um, Another thing I did notice, obviously, you could freeze Erlang with the Bat Spirit here. So that's just like another, immobilized type of thing, but it does not work all the time. You have to wait until he's staggered for it to really take effect. I do have a clip. I can't remember where, but I probably have it on the screen. But I used the bat thinking I was going to freeze Erlang in the middle of him using a special move, and ended up losing the fight. So I will stick with Wandering White here. Now going on to the focus point gauge with the Wukong staff. For that, I would use the enhanced ginseng pellets, especially for the beginning of the fight, because at the beginning of the fight you can use the fan, and then after you use the fan, whenever you stagger them, well, use the fan first, pop the enhanced ginseng pellet to get that 4 focus points, and then after he's staggered, you immobilize him so he can't move, and then you use your heavy attack to get that chunk of damage off. So the enhanced ginseng pellets are really good for this fight. You could also use the ginseng pellets, the regular ones, throughout the fight, so you can get focus points there. But yeah, I would prefer to use the enhanced ginseng pellets. Another medicine I use is the soul remigration pill. Now, for my spells, I have on life saving strand, but obviously, when you die, you have a chance to get it back based on this relic. Oh no, it's in the skill. So with life saving strand, when you use it, you have a chance, a moderate chance that its usage will not be expended. So that's good, but it doesn't trigger. It triggers like maybe once every 10 fights or so. So if I was you, I would throw on the soul remigration pill, just to guarantee that you would have at least 2 revives. So that'll be beneficial. And with that, with revives, of course, you need to have the preservation orb on, because it'll increase your maximum health, mana, and stamina upon your resurrection, which is really, really good. You would also pair that with the Galleon's willow leaf. So you would get those gourd uses back from that resurrection. So, do you see here that the brew I have on is the Sunset of the Nine Skies? This will give you considerable amount of ki every gourd use. Now, bro, I can't explain to y'all how important it is to have this on. Okay, you need ki to get your fan back, and also it gives you your spirit back, and also it should give you your transformation back as well, pretty quickly. So this is the most important thing to have on, and the fan, of course. And I pair that with the B Mountain Stone Soak because obviously having a chance to take a sip without consuming gore usage just gives you more key, and you will need this on. Okay, and obviously I personally love the iron pellet here because that tenacity and damage reduction is crucial to getting off those gourd uses whenever Erlang is, spamming combos and whatnot. But if you're good with using your gourd while he's not attacking, I would probably just substitute that out for maybe this legendary soak here, the frost enduring. I don't even know how to say the last word, but y'all see it. So using the gourd and low mana restores a moderate amount of key. So this will even give you more key back. But like I said, I think you using this iron pellet would be more beneficial, just so you don't get staggered if he hits you while you're using the gourd. So for my gourd, I have on the Supreme Gourd, so I could get those 10 gourd uses. I tried other gourds, like of course the Quintian gourd is pretty good when you pair it with the Boshan sensor, but just it doesn't work for this build because you're trying to use your gourd as many times as possible after you run out of the fan, so you can get the fan back as quick as possible. And this gourd does not help that. So I would run the Supreme Gourd for the most gourd uses. You could probably run the Immortal Blessing or one of these other ones, but like these are real low usage. If anything, like I said, I would use either one of these level 8s here. But yeah, Supreme Gourd all the way for me. Another thing I've had as the medicine is the enhanced tiger subduing pellets. Now I was using the ginseng pellets, like I said, but I switched to the enhanced tiger so I can get that more attack damage. Because obviously we know you got to get Erlang health down fast. So I paired this and the long aura amplification pellets together so I can get that massive attack increase, critical hit chance, and critical damage. Now, I did win. I did beat Erlang without this medicine, which was crazy. But so you don't need it, but I would advise you to use it just to get that that extra damage off at the beginning. So another thing that I use here is the Jadanka pendant, so I could slightly reduce the cooldown on my spells. It's imperative that you use Cloud Step and Immobilize. Cloud Step, you're gonna need that to basically get away from Erlang, get a break, so your decoy can take the damage. And then I've used it personally to get my fan off. The fan trigger time is so long. So if you use Cloud Step before using your fan, you always will get the fan off. So that's why I advise you use this Kyrios to get your Cloud Step back as fast as possible. Now also, I have the Boshan sensor. Even though it's better paired with the Queen Tien gourd, you can still use it because once you spam all your gourd uses off and you run out of gourd usage, you'll get that considerable damage reduction. So you'll be able to survive a little bit longer, maybe a lot bit longer, because Erlang does damage. So you'll be able to survive longer before dying and wasting a life-saving strand. So I would definitely use this Kyrios. And then I threw on two Thunder Flame seals here because obviously, like I said, you're gonna need Cloud Step and Immobilize a lot, and just getting those extra uses are really beneficial. So that's why I threw these two on. You could possibly have maybe the Jade Moon Rabbit and the Gold Sun Crow pair to get that damage bonus and damage reduction. Um, but I don't think you really need it. It's not that high of a percentage. So um, yeah, if you do use see through a lot though, of course using the Tiger Tendon Belt and the Stone Tiger Tally would be your best bet there. For the spells, of course, like I said, Immobilize, you need it. Cloud Step, you need it. And again, this is for my build. Obviously, other players may have other builds that are better suited for them. You know, they might be a rock solid type guy or Ring of Fire, whatever. But this is my personal opinion. So take with that what you will. So Cloud Step. Now the best transformation I found to use was the uh, Yellow Long transformation because again you get your transformation back pretty frequently with this build. I think I got him about 3 times, maybe in one fight. And it's important to make sure you use your transformation as early as possible, just so you can get as much damage as you can without actually getting taking, Wukong damage or like regular damage. Um, I did try the Azure Dust just to see about taking damage and then getting some, of course, his special move off. But whenever you transform, and I'll probably have this on the screen, whenever you transform, for example, into the Yellow Long, Erlang transforms into an animal. In this case, he transforms into a tiger. And he doesn't attack. With the Yellow Long, it's easy to dodge in time, but the animal attack will completely destroy your transformation. So with using the Azure Dust, he transforms into a bird, and it's hard to dodge that, especially with this transformation. So you'll basically just end up wasting the transformation with using that. The other one I thought about using is the Azure Dome, but again, the Azure Dome just doesn't do. He doesn't have the tenacity for me. So the Yellow Long though, very good, especially if you're good at countering with the heavy attack, so you can get those focus points built up for him. So that's a real good one. Then lastly, of course, the life saving strand. I don't know about using Pluck a Mini because they really won't last as long. I mean, you could probably definitely get Erlang down into his like second or third phase, but for this build it wouldn't work because with life saving strand and the resurrection stuff that we have on, we're trying to transform, or we're trying to make sure when we die we're put back in the best place possible. So when we die, we get our mana back and all that. Then we can use Cloud Step and the fan more time. So that's why we don't have on Pluck a Mini. So as you can see with this fight here, I start off by using the fan after locking on. You need to make sure that you lock on to him first, and you also need to make sure that you don't make any movements. If you move towards him, he will begin to attack instead of just standing there monologuing or whatever he's doing. But make sure you lock on and immediately use your fan. Now, after you do that, as you can see, you have ample time to pop all of your medicines that you need. There, I popped the enhanced ginseng pellet, the ginseng pellet, and the long amplification pellet. And now, did you see? Once his shield is gone, he will stagger as he did there. And then you immediately use the immobilize spell. Now, after using that immobilize spell, you now have the critical hit chance increase from the Wukong armor. And then you immediately use your 4-point heavy attack, 4 focus point heavy attack, because you have the Wukong staff. Obviously, that won't decrease. Now, as you can see, took off a big chunk of his health there, and that wasn't even a critical hit. So be mindful of that. Immediately after, though, we did the Wandering White, and you see there we had a 6,137 critical hit damage attack, which took out a huge chunk of his health. Then immediately after that, we are attacking. He's going into his combos, but right now we have him super close. There we go, to his first phase being done. Now, Erlang has 3 phases, as I mentioned before, and each one is triggered by his health. There, if you look, once his health gets to that point, he immediately goes into phase 2, and you will not be able to do any more damage on him during this time. So be mindful that you don't waste another fan use here, and just try to get yourself down yourself by dodging attacks, and just fighting. As you can see, you still have the attack boost based on the staff highlighting. And here I spam. This is when you can spam your gourd uses. Even though your health is fully healed, you can spam your gourd uses to get your fan back. Now also, if you want to with this, as you can see, you don't have mana, or your mana has went down and your health is at full. You could pair that with the Curios or the Soak that will give you mana when your health is full. And I would probably, if anything, I would switch that with Tenacity Soak. But like I said, I really, really think you need Tenacity when using the Gourd. So I don't know if it's necessarily worth it. Now here with this axe attack, it's easy to dodge. Immediately after you dodge that axe attack, he will do a slamming down move, which you could easily dodge by, you have to roll or dodge into him, because there will be a frost shockwave that you will need to dodge that you've seen there. And then immediately here you can get a couple attacks off. Here I transform because, like I said, it's better to use your transformation as early as possible, because you will get a couple of them based on this build. Now with every transformation, he transforms into an animal to try to get an attack off, which will kill the transformation and revert you back to your original form. So be mindful that you need to dodge this attack. With the yellow long, that is no problem. Here I use my dodge to get close up on him quickly so that I can continue my combo. Now with the yellow long, you have the R2 heavy attack, which will, if done right, against his heavy attack, will build that focus point gauge in the bottom right hand corner, which will allow you to get off a special move with the yellow long for a good chunk of damage. Now these moves are fairly easy to dodge. Here I use my cloud step to get off my fan, because again, the fan has a long trigger time, so it's best to do it in cloud step so you have ample time to get it off. And be mindful that I'm aiming it towards um, I guess the out of bounds wall or whatever you want to call it. So that way it would trap him in that direction. So there, I didn't do it, but he staggered again. There I should have used my immobilize to immobilize him while he was staggered. So that way I could keep attacking without him going into a combo. There you see I use it then. So now I'm getting off this combo here. Doing pretty good damage. And then I use my Wandering White. I didn't get a critical there, but it's still a good chunk of damage. So now we have this combo. And right there, this is important also to understand when you're fighting Erlang. If you have 4 focus points, you can switch to the thrust stance there. You see that damage? You can get off a thrust stance attack when you dodge backwards to get a good chunk of damage off on them and stagger them. Now, that attack, when he teleports like that, you need to dodge, okay? So after he does his teleport attack, you need to dodge backwards, and then you need to get the timing down right, but it's usually maybe like a second and a half before he does another axe attack. But when he does that, you need to dodge towards him because there will be another frost shockwave. There he canceled that attack. I'm not sure why, but be mindful of that attack because it does do heavy damage. And also, as you can see, he has a lightning elemental effect on his staff now because that comes from the yellow long transformation. So whenever you use poison, frost, fire, thunder, whatever, if you use it on him, he will take that ability and apply it to his staff. And that will cause you more damage. So be mindful of that. Also, throughout this fight, you will go into a chilled state if you're getting hit by some of his moves, which will cause you to be slower and not be able to dodge as easy. So here, I use a fan, and as you can see, I wasted the fan. So you see how he immediately, when he got to his health, when he got to the designated health for phase 2 being over, he immediately got a shield back and teleported. So now I sort of wasted a fan use there and an immobilize. So that kind of sets you back. So be mindful of just where his health bar is. Now this attack here, you can use your twirling thrust attack, your twirling staff attack, or whirling staff, whatever you want to call it, to block these arrow daggers. I didn't know that until after I had already beat him, and then I seen a video of somebody else fighting him, and they were doing that. Now, you cannot dodge this attack, the slamming lightning attack, so you have to be able to time that to dodge it. Now here I use Cloud Step, but I don't have any gourd uses to use my fan. So if I didn't waste my fan before, then I would have been able to use my fan there to go ahead and take out his shield and then start doing damage. But I do have this transformation, so that is good to get this damage on him and get his shield down as much as possible. So now you see we have his shield down to about half, and just dodging these attacks. Now here you need to dodge towards him there. You get the timing down, and after he finishes this move, you see there will be 1, 2, 3, 4 lightning or beams he will use, and then he will have this slamming down lightning attack. that will kill you. Okay, so like that. So it'll be hard to dodge that. Um, if you are dodging it, kudos to you. You're the GOAT. But you can use Cloud Step for that. Now, here's what I was speaking about. This is why it's important to have Life Saving Strand as well as that Soak to get gore usage back when you die, and the Preservation Orb, Curios. When I resurrect here, as you can see, I get all my gore usage back. I get health and some mana. Now I'm able to use Immobilize. I'm able to use Cloud Step. I'm able to use my Transformation. And I have gore usage, so I can spam that and get my Fan and Spirit back. Now here these combos are fairly, I guess, somewhat simple to dodge. Also, a very important thing when fighting Erlang, y'all, look at all the map you got. Do not be afraid to run away from them. Okay, I've done it. Okay, get some distance and trigger his long range attacks because those are really easy to dodge. So be mindful of that if he's spamming combos that you just try to get away as fast as possible. So here, I'm using Cloud Step again. I get my fan back, and I immediately use it. Always be sure, if you know his health is not close to being over, always make sure to use Immobilize and use your fan. Use your fan and then Immobilize so you can get him down as much as possible. Now here I got my Cloud Step back quick. And now I have the fan again. So here, while I'm in Cloud Step, I use the fan once again to get the stagger. And he got his shield back, but the fan is still going. It is taking him down slowly. Now you see there, his shield was literally an inch away from being gone. But the fan ended up going out, and then he got me with that little stomp attack. Now, another thing you want to look out for with this move here. Now, when he does this move, and I'll show you, of course, when I edit this, but there's two ways you can beat this move. One way that you see here is to use a Wandering White and knock him out the air to cancel it. Another way is to time it, which I realize is very simple to time it. At first, I was dying to it every time because I couldn't get the timing right. When he does this move, he will wind up, and you will see him glow. Right before he throws the dagger, there will be a flash of light on his head area, and then you can dodge sideways, backwards, forward, whatever, and you should be able to dodge that attack fairly easy. See here, I'm getting my gore usage back once again. I use my fan to get rid of his shield. And this time, I use my fan at the perfect moment to make sure I get all of his shield. So now, he's staggered. I don't have Immobilized, but I'm still able to get off these good combos. I get my Cloud Step back. And here, I don't have any gore usage, so I use my charge, heavy attack, my 3 focus point, and I'm able to get him and kill him. But that's going to do it for this tutorial video, y'all. If you enjoyed the video and want to see more like it, leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see y'all in the next video, man. I'm going to holler at you, D Familia. Peace.